everyone is happy. It's something amazing, never have in your life again. I hope to live.
Expecting it to be announced today, but it is what it is. I'm not, I've had a lot of media asking me my opinion of it today. It is what it is. I think on one side you have to understand the business of it.
I would be silly not to take that, because I would end up in a better position taking that fight than if I didn't take that fight. If I win, I'm a world champion, I'll smash the records, I'm a millionaire, superstar, XYZ, yeah? And if I didn't take that fight, then I've still gone and tried in my best, I gave him my all, and
Shocking. Turki Alalshikh has confirmed Daniel Dubois versus Moses Itauma this December, and Dubois' comeback talk suddenly feels hollow. Moses is levels above, and when the bell rings, it's Itauma who'll expose Dubois under the bright lights.
So, Daniel, you're in the office for a meeting. Is there some fight news coming soon?
Yeah, big news announcing soon, so, I'll let these guys talk about it, but I'm going to be well up for it and we're coming back.
Frank and Sam were excited for Daniel's return.
I'm more excited by his t-shirt.
Yeah.
Big news. It's going to be a tough fight, a good fight, quality fight. Everybody's going to love it when they hear it. It's a big, big fight.
Yeah.
Daniel, you're excited?
No, I'm 100% ready to go.
But Eddie Hearn had some doubts about such a test at Moses' age. Even with Eddie's doubts, Turki Alalshikh's announcement proves Moses is no ordinary 20-year-old. Turki's confidence shows this isn't a gamble, it's a calculated move to expose Dubois and elevate a prodigy ready for the spotlight.
Or he might knock him out, I don't know, but personally, at 20, you got to get it right. And Frank, like I said, Frank knows what he's doing, and I think I'd be very surprised if they took that kind of test, yeah.
And Dubois himself can't hide his eagerness when asked about Moses. Dubois talks about belts, but Turki Alalshikh's December confirmation shows the truth. His next step is Moses. And against a fearless 20-year-old backed at the very top, Dubois' dream of redemption may collapse before it even begins.
For this next step.
Who is next? Is Moses Itauma on the horizon?
All the guys in the heavyweight division, yeah, they're all, the guy, especially the one who has the belts, and if the belts fragment or whatever, stuff like that can happen. Whatever way I can become two-time heavyweight champion, that's where I'm going.
Do you think you would?
Next up, Tony Bellew explains why this fight has captured the nation's attention. Bellew calls it huge, and he's right. Turki Alalshikh's official stamp turned this into Britain's hottest fight. Dubois fights for survival, Moses fights for destiny, and December now feels like a generational moment that boxing fans can't ignore.
I think this fight's just gone took another toll.
It's absolutely grabbed the public interest now to another level, isn't it?
This is quite simply the biggest fight this country's ever seen.
It's going to be huge.
Frampton admits Dubois has improved, but better doesn't equal good enough. Against a genius like Moses, slight improvements won't save him. Itauma's blend of speed, IQ, and fearlessness exposes Dubois' flaws the moment the pressure builds.
Dubois is certainly a much more dangerous fighter than he was, so he does have a chance to win the fight, but in saying that, I've backed against Usyk a couple of times, and specifically the Fury.
And Tyson Fury himself adds fuel to the fire with his perspective on the new generation. Fury nails it. This is the era of youth. Moses embodies that raw hunger and fearlessness, the exact qualities Dubois pretends to have. Against a fading generation and a fragile rival, Itauma is primed to rise while Dubois risks crumbling again.
Boxing is a young man's game. Like I told Vladimir Klitschko when he was 37. Boxing's a young man's game and he waits for nobody. So here's the opinion, you've heard it here first. Moses Itauma will wreck all them old men out of the division. Usyk, AJ, Miller, whoever there is who's old, Zhang, whoever else there is, Luis Ortiz, all these big names of the past are all a spent force. And even the world champion now, if they took my belts and give them to Usyk, Moses will wreck him. Because he's a young man versus an old man. An old man can't mess with young men.
Confidence can only take Dubois so far. Once the punches fly, it evaporates. Yes, he's a natural heavyweight, but being big doesn't make you brave. Moses thrives under fire, while Dubois has repeatedly folded. That contrast may define December's outcome.
I feel he knows and he's grown in confidence since that. I mean, he's in a great place, Dubois, and he can win that fight. He's a big natural heavyweight.
And Adam Smith outlines exactly why Moses' style is such a nightmare. Adam Smith highlights what makes Moses such a nightmare. His footwork, range, and speed create a riddle that heavyweights simply cannot solve. Commit, and you walk into lightning counters. Hold back, and you're bullied onto the ropes. Dubois, who already panics under pressure, will have no answer. This isn't just about power, it's about intelligence and anticipation, and Moses outclasses him in both. That puzzle Smith describes. Dubois doesn't have the tools to crack it. In fact, trying to solve Moses' style may be what breaks him entirely.
But Moses is that his feet and his distance and his range is so good and he's so quick that if you commit to the punches, you're going to get countered. And if you don't, you're going to get backed up and taken out. So it's a real puzzle. There's not many heavyweights that are southpaws. Obviously, Alexander Usyk is, but he's moved up into that domain. And that's why AJ...
Bolo's words cut to the truth. Size doesn't dictate greatness. Skill does. Usyk proved it, and Moses is following that path. The only concern people raise is physicality, but Moses' speed and adaptability erase those doubts. Dubois might be the bigger man, but when the pressure mounts, size won't save him. Moses has the composure, ring IQ, and raw drive that Dubois has never truly displayed. This isn't David versus Goliath. It's a young, modern heavyweight dismantling an outdated blueprint. Moses isn't waiting for tomorrow. He's ready to own the division now.
That I worry about with Moses is the size. But ultimately, as we've seen now, size becomes irrelevant because look what Alexander Usyk's done. This guy's gone out and beaten everyone, including me. He's exceptional. So I don't think Moses is going to be as technically as good as Alexander Usyk, but he's the next in line. I think he's the future of the heavyweight division. I think he's an outstanding talent.
And Adam Smith keeps the debate alive by rating Moses among today's top heavyweights. Adam Smith is cautious, but I completely disagree. Saying Moses isn't ready ignores the maturity and skill he's already shown. He isn't just beating opponents, he's dismantling them with patience and precision, well beyond his years. Dubois doesn't deserve to be mentioned in the same breath as Usyk, let alone as a barrier to Moses. If anything, this fight is the perfect stage to prove that Moses doesn't need protecting, he needs challenges. And in December, Dubois won't expose Moses. Moses will expose Dubois as a manufactured contender whose ceiling has already been hit.
When is he ready? I think he could beat most heavyweights in the world, with the exception possibly of Usyk and maybe Dubois, possibly AJ. The top 3 or 4, he's not ready for them yet.
Bello isn't exaggerating. This fight has taken on historic weight. Dubois versus Moses isn't just another heavyweight clash. It's a generational shift. One fighter clings to redemption, the other surges forward as the future. Personally, I see it as the biggest test of Dubois' mentality, more than his boxing, because when the pressure of history falls on his shoulders, will Dubois crumble like before? My belief is Moses, on the other hand, thrives on pressure. It sharpens him, fuels him, and makes him even more dangerous. That's why the hype isn't misplaced. It's deserved.
This fight's just gone took another toll.
It's absolutely grabbed the public interest now to another level, isn't it?
This is quite simply the biggest fight this country's ever seen.
It's going to be huge.
This is what makes Moses special. He's brutally honest about his own growth. Instead of dodging the truth, he embraces it. Experience in later rounds is what he seeks. That self-awareness is rare, especially for a 20-year-old stepping into a mega fight with Dubois, while Moses is already comparing his skill set to Usyk. Dubois is still chasing excuses for past failures. That contrast is massive. Moses isn't blinded by hype. He's focused on sharpening weaknesses. And when a fighter admits what he lacks, it usually means he's already working to close that gap. Dubois, he's never had that humility.
We're just looking at fights to kind of get me into that later round, because I feel like with Usyk, I feel like I've got a better skill set than him, but I feel like towards the later rounds, he'll just outdo me, because I've never been in that sort of fight.
And that's exactly why this December clash feels like a true passing of the torch. Turki Alalshikh's official announcement has turned Dubois versus Moses Itauma into the most anticipated showdown of the year, and the stakes couldn't be higher. For Dubois, this fight is do or die. Lose here and he becomes the nearly man of British boxing, remembered more for collapses than triumphs. For Moses, victory means history, a 20-year-old stepping into superstardom by dismantling a supposed contender. Dubois talks about redemption and belts, but he's never shown the composure when it mattered. His chin and mentality have betrayed him time and time again. Moses, on the other hand, embraces pressure, calls out his weaknesses, and thrives in the spotlight. That honesty and hunger make him dangerous beyond his years. If Itauma wins, the heavyweight landscape shifts overnight, and Dubois fades into the shadows. If Dubois somehow pulls it off, it's a temporary delay to Moses' rise. My money, Itauma takes it, and takes it big.